All right. That there, put that there. And then the knife. Where was that? I'm confused. All right, so there we go. All right, can you hear me now? All right, awesome. Yeah, it just randomly lost connection on me. Now I gotta figure out where I set my stuff because I'm not sure. I don't know if I put it back in the bag yet or not. There's those. All right. I'm doing good. I'm a little sad because some just snapped me off. But retie, change up. Make sure. All right, cool. 37 people. What? I'm like famous or something. Look at that. I feel less bad about losing whatever that was now. Oh my god. Okay, they're down there. They about to rip me apart though. I probably got way too big of a bait. I got live bait out on this pole. How you been, man? It's what I like to believe. Makes me feel better. Saw some kick the water earlier, and I'll tell you, man, it was whatever it was big and it was fast. It went probably 40, 50 foot in like 2 seconds. Scared everything within a like 4 or 5 foot width as it went through. Yeah, I kind of put all this stuff on the back burner, but I ended up getting a divorce and trying to find me again, so I'm back by the water. Yeah, get my fish on. I hear you been good though, man. Hey, it's what had to happen. Sometimes you gotta make changes in life to be where you need to be. Now I'm going to be a successful YouTuber making 58 people in here. I really do feel like super like I'm there. 27 people, I'll take it. I got to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours before I can even get paid for any of this stuff. So once I hit that though, full send. Yeah, I started that Facebook page, and the followers on there are way more than I got on here. Dude, I've left it on the Cash App as like a reminder. Yeah, I still owe the government like $2,000 right now for taxes, so it'd be put to good use. I got a payment coming up on the 28th. It's $127. I've got my bills down so cheap. Which is a good thing because I ain't got it like that yet. As soon as my YouTube starts taking off, I'll have it like that though. Dude, it made my whole morning. I ain't even. I was like, "Yep, $1. I'm wealthy." Oh, I can't. I can't forget about you, man. There's a couple people who like have literally helped my channel feel like it could be something, and you were definitely one of them. There's multiple people who have like talked to me on the streams and stuff, and I'm like, all right, maybe I could be a YouTuber, which I'd like to. So, but once I'm at that level, people aren't going to know who Mr. Beast is because I'm going to surpass that. Got to keep your goals high. Yeah, I told my buddy if I come up with my bill money like at the end of the month, then I'll probably just try to do a bunch of streaming. I'll probably majority focus on YouTube though. I may do TikTok here and there. I may do a little bit on Facebook, but I think most of it be good. I was on there for a little while, but I think it's partially because you can't see me. Like, actually help this. Than I do on, like, I haven't tried Facebook yet, so I don't know how I'll do on there, but as far as like it goes, this is kind of the better traffic for me. Yeah, I think if I had better lighting and a bit different of a, it wouldn't be as bad. But someone's trying. I just saw the prettiest shooting star. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just gonna keep at it till it's that. Yeah, I know, cause this whole lighting scenario was a real negative feel for me. I almost didn't want to go live at all because of it. There is something down there pecking. Think my bait's too big. Might have to swap this out for a little bit different of a setup and try that. Yeah, I know. I run into that issue a lot. I can't help it though. I just got big bait. Man, I don't want to swap it, but I know they're just tearing it up. I might just cut a piece off, make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Oh, the spider video was so I planned on taking the spider outside when I got out of the shower because I was about to get in the shower. And then I got home later that night. I went into the bathroom. There was a sock laying there, and I didn't think none of it. And I was like, "Oh, there was a spider in the bathroom earlier." And my mom's like, "Yeah, I killed it." And I was like, "What?" I was going to take it outside. She's like, "Well, you can, but it's dead." I'm just like, "That is crazy." I plan on saving that thing. She used my sock to kill it. I don't know about W. Yeah, I went home thinking I was going to save it, but nah, there's no saving it. She done killed it by the time I got home. I don't I don't worry too much about spiders. Spiders aren't my issue. Like I got things I don't like, but I can deal with spiders. A lot of things I can deal with as long as like snakes. I'm not a big fan of snakes, but like I've worked on it over the years. Like I've held them, and you know I'll get close to them. I don't really run from them anymore. Yeah, same. I ain't really trying to like just. And it's the same thing with a lot of animals. Like even if I'm not necessarily a fan of that animal, I'm not gonna like just try to go kill that animal. My bait's trying to swim away. Yeah, yeah. Me, and the snakes have an understanding as well. I definitely don't try to hang out with them, but I'll stand by them. Like I said, I don't. I mean, I might take it outside, but it ain't gonna be top priority. Like I've never really been worried about spiders, even though that's probably more concerning than snakes. Yeah, I got a video. My best friend's got a big old snake, and he knows how I am with him. And I was like, dude, I want to hold a snake. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. I gotta, I gotta start facing it. So I've held a couple since then. Most animals and stuff have a purpose. That's like, there's people that the big black rat snakes, they'll take those rat snakes in to abandoned houses, like out in the hollers and stuff, and let four or five go. And what they'll do is they'll go through the house, they'll clear all the rodents, and once they clear all the rodents, they'll just leave. They won't even stay in the house. I will say though, my dog had a he was playing with the bee, and he took the bee and he laid it on his bed, and I was asleep at her house, and I was laying on the floor in front of his bed, and I stuck my hand under his bed, and as soon as I did, I just straight poked that bee stinger. Not a big fan of bees when they sting me. I learn that every time I get stung. Um, a living scorpion? No, I don't think I've ever encountered. But I think it would just depend. Is it wild or is it all right. Okay. You are slapping. Why? Oh, what do we got? Okay. Come. I know you're not big, so don't act like you are. We got something. We got some on the line. He's a turning. He's shaking. He's got some head shakes on him for sure. I ain't sure what he is yet. Come on. Come on. I can almost guarantee this is a channel. And if it's not, I'd be surprised. It's definitely a cat. It's either a blue or a channel. I'll let you know. Good. All right, hold on. I'm coming to you. Is that? Oh, are you? Ow. Think it's a bluey. Nope, maybe not. Look at that. It's hard to tell. That's a decent cat. I'm not. I'm not disappointed. He's definitely not a monster, though. It's hard to unhook, though. Good hook set. There we go. All right. Let's see. Let's try to get him in the light. 20 pounds. All right. I'm about to see what he is. Hold on. Hold on. You're being aggressive. You're being aggressive. What are you even mad about? I'm putting you back. Come on. Looks like maybe 6. Little 6-pounder. I think he's a little heavier. Woo. You know what I do know for sure? Angry. Yeah, I want to say he was like 6. Let me see. Maybe 7. All right. Now that he done turned my line around, rinse my hands off. Then gonna untangle this. All right. I don't feel like exactly. And since we've been up, that thing went from. I don't think that scale's right. I think that's heavier than what I'd be thinking. All right, we back. Back in the water. No. Thought it was flat for a second. People fish that I would love to fish. I absolutely love to travel around and fish with some of the people on here. Some Jeremy Wade stuff. I need to go through my poles, and some of them need new line though, because I'm gonna end up losing some fish due to it. Really need that pole over there to go off. That pole goes off, I'd feel pretty good because it's got a big old blue girl on it. Swoop. That's the sound it's going to make. It'd make it go quicker. That's for sure. I like to fight though. I'm trying to hook some that I struggle to reel in. Like I want to catch some so big that like I gotta move y'all up to the light to show it off. But I want to have to bring a car down here to take it up there because it's so heavy. I mean, if I was bluegill fishing or, you know, something heavy, I'd consider hooking a drill to the reel though. Be reeling them bluegill in quick. I've seen videos of people doing it before, and I'm like, be kind of cool to try. Dude, I really want to take like 4 or 5 days, find a spot out here at the lake, and set up for like 4 or 5 days in the same spot. Literally leave just a giant bait out where either something takes it or I don't reel it in. And then fish on the other line and just eat what I catch. Like the spot I'm at would be cool to do it because I know like over on that other side, there's sections here that are like I believe they said almost 100 foot. So like 60, 70 foot at least. Um oh my bait startled me. Southwest. Uh Lower Ohio, like close to Cincinnati. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure which way Illinois is. Because Kentucky's south, West Virginia is never east. I think Northwest is West Virginia. Nope. Ohio. Let's see. Never east. Yeah, I believe so. I believe you would definitely be correct about that. My geography's not great. I'd Google it, but I'm using my phone to live stream. Been thinking about getting like a GoPro or one of those cameras that like do POV type shots for when I'm fishing. I know what you mean. I text my buddy one night and I was like, dude, I'm a plumber. And he's like, what do you mean? And I took a picture of my couch and I had my everything tore off and I had the whole center cut out of it. And he's like, how's that make you a plumber? I'm like, just trust me, I'm a plumber. And then I think I took like 10 inches, shortened the couch, put it back together. And I texted him, I was like, the electrician's all done here. I'm gonna tell you what, I've never messed with any form of drugs or alcohol, but I've done some very off the wall stuff. I got a old microwave from a dude I used to work with. Didn't work. Was covered in rust. Ugliest microwave you've ever seen. And I was like, man, yeah, I'll take it. And he's like, okay, it doesn't work though. I was like, that's fine. I took it home. I completely stripped down every nut, bolt, wire, tore the entire front control panel apart. And I was like, all right, I'm going to put this back together. I sanded the entire frame down the inside, painted the whole thing, hooked everything back up, and got the microwave working and let it run for like 15 minutes, and the little like fuse thing kicked off. And I was like, all right, well, that job's done. I'm going to throw this away. And everyone's like, dude, you were the most tweaker, non tweaking guy I've ever met in my life. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Oh, nice. I just, I've seen what you can do, and I already know. I gamble. I quit gambling like a couple weeks back because I like gambling, but I quit because I knew where it was headed. So like I know I would not do good with anything of that nature. Need to figure out what's wrong with this clicker because I don't think the clicker on this pole works. Have pulled off, see why it ain't clicking. Start being a clicker for it. Click, click, click. Be so nice right now. So I used to get very low paychecks when I was like 18, and I would play very low odds. So I would win, but it would be such low amounts that I wasn't winning fast enough for me. And then now I'm like, I just want to drop stupid amounts of money. Win, lose, don't care. If I win, it's just more money to lose later. Yeah, I'm definitely open about like gambling, but yeah, the big issue was really the fact that it was a online thing. Yeah. I I don't really spend money on much stuff is my issue. So like if I don't need money, I just don't care about money. Like after we separated, I literally didn't care about money. Like I just got my bank account out of negative today. I think I got like $40, and then it's like I don't really want anything. I also don't have anywhere for it. I gave up my apartment shortly after my divorce, and then I moved into my car, but my car started having a bunch of issues. So I don't really have a car right now, but it'd be fine. I'll figure it out. I ain't that worried about it. I'm going to be a famous YouTuber, so, you know, I'm really hoping like 1,000 people subscribe tonight and give me my watch hours and subscribers. And then I start making like 200K a month. Um, I slept on my mom's floor. I got places I can go, but it's one of those things like I don't really have any bills, and really I want to travel is what I want to do. So the car was supposed to be like use it to get places quicker, but I might end up just loading up a backpack and taking off. Just grab some fishing gear and a couple little things and just start walking. I'm not really sure yet. I used to live out of a backpack when I was 16. I I think I was 15. I got thrown out of school to an alternative school. 16, I went to court and they basically told me like, "Hey, you're." Unfortunately for me, I got my brother's judge, so he had told me like, "You're either going to jail or you're finishing school." And I'd never been in trouble in my life. It's the only time like I've ever actually been in trouble. And I told him I was like, well, you already got me here, so if you're gonna take me to jail, you might as well do it because I'm not going to school. So my mom called my PO and he's like, look, I don't care about your son. He doesn't go to school. Not a big deal. So shortly after that, we left and we were walking through everything in a backpack, took off, and so it was like I was living out of backpack, traveling. Like I said, I used to walk like 50 miles a day. So it wasn't nothing to wake up and just go walk and just see the world. You don't feel any of the day-to-day struggles. People are like, "Oh, that must be miserable." And it's honestly not. I mean, the only thing that would get me now is the money I owe in taxes. I got a $127 payment that I would have to come up with. And then other than that, wouldn't be that bad. It is. The freedom is incredible. You don't, because you don't wake up and think, man, I got to get ready for work or I got to work tomorrow. You just go out, you live, you travel. Like My buddy, it's my best friend. I hadn't seen him. I told him when I was 18, I was taking off again because I had been working up in the place where I actually met my ex-wife, and I was like, and oh no, you good? And I was like, all right, I'm leaving. I ain't seen him in like 2 years. Like, let me holler at you and let's chill. And he's like, all right, cool. So we hung out the next day, or like 2 days later, he dropped me off somewhere random in Kentucky. And I kid you not, like, I was walking down this road for like probably 2 miles. Dude pulls up to me and he's like, I'm not sure where you're headed, but this is a long road, man. And I was like, oh, I'm just going wherever. And he's like, well, I can give you a ride to where I'm going. I was like, cool. So I get in the back of his truck bed and we're driving through this beautiful holler in Kentucky. There's this beautiful field, greenest grass you've ever seen. And then all of a sudden, a big old eagle by the truck while I'm sitting in the back of it. Absolutely gorgeous. So he drops me off, and I'm walking a little further, and it's probably like 2 miles in. And this guy comes out his house and he's like, hey, man, um, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm just walking. I'm, he's like, all right, I had my rollerblades on my bag, and he told me, he's like, you might want to throw those rollerblades on. And I was like, is it a big hill? He's like, it's like at least a mile long. And I was like, cool, you cool with me putting these on in your driveway? He's like, go for it. So I throw my rollerblades on and I'm bombing this hill. Like I'm passing cars and I'm probably doing, I think the speed limit was 35. So I'm passing these cars at 35 on my rollerblades. And I get down to the bottom of the hill and it was like 10 minutes I was going down that hill, or at least it felt like it. It felt incredible. I got down the hill the next day. I wake up and I'm laying on this creek bed and it's just beautiful scene. I start walking and then all of a sudden it's like 10 miles of just horse pastures. Like, dude, it was some of the most beautiful sights the first like 2 or 3 days that I was out. I love rollerblading, man. I ain't rollerblading forever, but I used to do a lot of skateboarding, but I also I would rollerblade like I could rollerblade. I could do like a kick flip. I could almost tray flip like while wearing rollerblades. So it was definitely something I enjoyed. Oh, right there. I think that's a good spot. Uh, um. So then I do tricks and stuff too. Yeah, I remember talking to you about skateboarding the one time. I somewhat started skating a little like 2 days ago because I got a board and stuff. My buddy has a YouTube channel, and that's what he does on it. And he tells me all the time, he's like, "Man, just go skate." Yeah, I probably should, just for my physical health. I used to be in great shape, man. I'm not anymore. Like, I can still take care of myself, but not the way I used to be able to. I don't know if I could do trick requests and stuff now. I was good when I was young. I quit skating when I was 18. When I quit, I was really good, and now like I could double flip, I could impossible. Um at one point when I was going to get back into it, I almost had triple kick flips back. Uh I ended up doing a nollie back foot impossible. I can still do my primo. Well, some of it. I can't do all of it. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to try skating on lives on TikTok because I used to have hard flips on lock. I could relearn them for sure. I did one because I was going to get back into it probably 2, 3 years ago, and I didn't. But like when I was going to get back into it, hey, what's up? Surprised you remember me. It's dark. Yeah. I mean, really though, like there's a lot of tricks that I had back then when I was going to get back into it that just probably relearn but shouldn't. I'm doing good. Just trying to catch me giant fish. Have a good night. Appreciate you stopping in. Man, I really need some light out here. Impossibles are simple. I can. I never lost impossibles. Like, there's actually, if I had a board, I could impossible right now. There's a video on my page where you gotta wrap it. It's like it don't do a three shove and call it impossible. Yeah, nah, like I used to be able to do every variation of impossible. So like nollie back foot, fakie front foot, switch front foot, regular, fakie. Used to be able to nollie, impossible. I didn't. I mean, I skated ramps, but I didn't in the same sense. So like, I did a lot more like just flat ground. One of the things that I loved doing though was just bigger tricks. So I learned triple flips and I had them pretty consistent. So if I played a game of skate and I went first, I would do a single, a double, and a triple. And then when I quit skating, I used to be able to do quad flips on flat. But I didn't have them consistent. I was working on getting them consistent. But I could hit a quad flip on flat 1 out of 10 times. Yeah, I can definitely do some double flips. Yeah, so like there's clips of me skating on, I know it's at least on YouTube and probably TikTok. One of them, so I used to be able to 540 double flip. I used to be able to 540 hard flip. I had a bunch of really big tricks. Um a lot of it though I learned down sets, like anything 540, laser flips. Those were the kind of tricks I would do down. I You find a small three stair that's not very long, and you learn them down the like three stair. And what it does is it gives you just enough time. Like I said, ledges, little ledges and stuff. If you want to learn how to do that stuff, find little ledges. I had a lot of nollie tricks I could do. Like I could nollie laser, I could nollie 360 hard. There's probably more that I could do, but I did a lot of my stuff on flat, and like I said, I would do it down sets because it gives you just enough air time. I didn't do it down anything crazy big to learn it, but once I learned it, it was all on flat. That's my issue now. So I'm 6'1" and I weigh 240 to 250. And to skate and do the bigger tricks, it's just I can't really trust a board. Like I said, I got a board, but I don't necessarily skate a lot. I might skate for 5 minutes every 6 months. Longer, I was 6'1" and like 150. Yeah, for sure. I'll have to add you on my personal page on Facebook. I mean, there's many ways to do it for sure. Like, actually, this right here is how I'm charging my phone. That was my power source in the car. It's a little portable generator. I'd plug it up to the car, and then after I plugged it up to the car, I'd sorry to hear about your parents. They were going to let me experiment. Are you a carpenter of any sort, or? There's not a whole lot I can't do, and what I can't do, I can figure out pretty quick. It just depends on how much energy I want to put into it. Yep. I just live that life where you either figure it out or that's your problem. So I've learned to figure it out. Guess this. Uh, kind of depends for me. Kind of depends on how serious it is getting it fixed. I'm the kind of guy like if it needs to be fixed sooner than later, I'll start calling places that know about it and just be like, "Hey, here's what I got going on. Is there anything you can do to tell me how to fix this or how to do this properly?" Then other stuff, I don't worry about it too much. Like, I wish someone could tell me how to land a state record because that would solve a lot of my problems. Yep. If it's that I should pay someone for, I don't mind paying someone. But there's a lot of stuff that I can figure out and I should be able to figure out. So That's the route I normally try to take. I'm a believer that knowledge is power. The more you know, the better off you'll be in life. For sure. I tell people all the time, if you just willing to try it, you can figure it out. Most things are not as complicated as they look. Most things look more complicated than they are. Now, there's some things that are complicated, but look easy. Hey, if that's the way you got to think to get it done, then so be it. Yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my hand that I couldn't or didn't figure out that was like super necessary. Easy, but actually to look easy. I had an old 92 Chevy and the steering column was messed up on it. And someone's like, well, buy a new steering column. It's $100 in the junkyard. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And they're like, well, what's your plan? I was like, I'm fix it. They said, how you plan on doing that? I said, I'm gonna tear it apart. I'm going to fix it, put it back together, and put it back in the car. Nope. That thing comes apart, you will never get it back together. I had mechanics who been doing it a long time. They're like, you're not going to be able to tear that thing apart and get it back together. If you've never done it, it will never go back together. I'm like, yeah, I'll figure it out. And I went over, I spent $13 and put that thing back in. And I was like, yep. It wasn't super complicated, but I mean, there was a couple things to know. I I actually just messed with some electricity. I shock myself a lot though. Like I hit 220 on a stove like 4 times in a row one night. I was doing the drywall in a kitchen at an old house and I slapped it and I'm like, ah. And the ex-wife was like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. She's like, turn off the power. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not walking all the way downstairs to turn off the power. And I ended up smacking it again. I did it quieter that time. And that third time I hit it, I go, and it was super quiet. She goes, huh, did you shock yourself? Huh? What do you mean? She's like, I told you to turn off the power. And I'm like, it's good. It's done now. It's behind it. I was like, there's no way I'm going downstairs to turn this power off. 50-50 for me. Depends on what I'm doing. I try to avoid electric, but I've been shocked enough where I kind of just don't care. Drywall ain't too bad. Two, three videos, and you'll be a pro. Yeah, I've had to do some remodeling. I've had to do some mechanic work. I've had to do quite a bit. I'm like, most stuff I learn pretty quickly. I'm the guy that'll watch someone do something, and after like the second or third time of seeing them, I'm normally good. A lot of creepy noises happen. All right, let's see. Relocate this thing to a different spot. Let's just full send. It should be pretty deep right there. I feel you there. There's things I'm really good at, but there's a lot of things where I'm not an expert in any means. Alright, cool. A jack of all trades is better than a master of one. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I've seen the phrase, it gets twisted. Trying to remember the actual phrase now. Nah. If I do anything, I'm gonna get like a some good on gas. I'm gonna give me a little beater with the heater that's good on gas. Like I said, just gonna become a successful social media person. I bet. Right now, even cars that are good on gas are bad on gas. Trying to catch me a giant. Smart car seems like the way to go with gas prices. Okay, either I'm crazy or that is my bobber from earlier coming back this way. Ooh. That is my bobber from oh my god, why is it floating like that? So confused. Oh, nice. Do you do you own your place? So do you got land too, or Well, I'm assuming you have some land because it's on the house, but do you have like woods and acres, or is it like city? Oh, that's nice. I I just don't know if I'd want to do city. Like I would love to have a few hundred acres in the middle of nowhere. Forty-eight, 15, 30. Hmm. It sounds like a at least 2, 3 acre lot then. Probably closer to like 5 acres. Oh my. Trying to think what an acre is. I know I was going to end up buying a farmhouse with, I believe, 5 acres or 2 acres. It's like 2 football fields. Need to check this pole over here. I need to probably recast, honestly. see. Might get there. All right. This little guy's still lively as all can be. I ain't gonna lie, brother. You might you might mow kind of slow, cause that. I mean, it's. We'll say you're weed eating too. We'll say you're not just mowing. You're weed eating too. Yeah, you're not just mowing. You're weed eating and you're mowing in 15 minutes. Exactly. You got to pick up sticks. You got to. There's a lot that goes into it. Can't tell if. All right. Now it should click. If this pole starts clicking, then there's something up. I got some live bait on this one. I just recasted, so. But shouldn't really be able to move the drag. And I really thought I'd have some giant fish up here by this point of the day. Line sweeper. I ain't even sure what you mean by line sweeper. Wonder how big some of the properties I used to cut were. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Well, it's definitely more fun to do it that way. I'd have so many ruts in the yard though, because I would full send. Or just admiring your mowing job, man. That's all. People get jealous when you cut your grass the right way. That is a super common thing. Back when I was cutting grass, it was literally I would notice people cut their grass when other people cut their grass. Like the one dude, he's like, "Hey, how much would you charge to cut my grass?" I said, "Well, let me come over take a look." I was like, "All right, your minimum. I can do it today. I can start right now." And he's like, "All right, cool." And his neighbors like they were getting mad because I'm cutting these two properties on like Wednesday, and he wants me to come out on like Friday. And I'm like, yeah, so that would cause me to cycle back on the route. And there's days where all my work's caught up by Friday. And he's just like, oh. And the neighbor's like, well, I like to cut my grass the same day as him. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just telling you, I can cut it for this price, but if I'm not working that day, it's going to be hard to come in for 1 yard because that's literally going to be the only yard. They didn't want to pay the minimum fee. They said they refused to pay somebody to cut their grass. And then they waited like 2 weeks till the grass was long and thick and a nightmare to cut. And then they're like, hey, will you cut it? Lucky for me, the yard was super small, so I went ahead and knocked it out. Depending on the day, I've cut while it was raining. Like I've literally loaded up the trailer, went out and cut multiple properties, talking 4 inches of water, standing, and torrential downpour, and I'm on a mower cutting. I had one, it was storming. It was so bad that my Carhartt jacket was soaked within 2 minutes of being out of the truck. Completely soaked. There was like 4 or 5 inches of water puddled up that I had to go through. And I cut the yard, and I was about to cut the neighbor's yard, and he came out and he's like, "Hey, can you not?" And he's like, rain gear, umbrella, like, and I'm just standing here, just getting pouring rain on me, and I'm like, I mean, he's like, "I know I'll still have to pay, but can you maybe just skip?" And I'm like, "Well, if you want to skip, can, or if you want, I can cut it. I'll be extra careful." I mean, you can look at the neighbor's yard, and he looked, and he's like, "Yeah, on second thought, let's do that." So I just kept cutting. I think I had like 5 or 6 properties that day, and it was like thunderstorms. My bait's getting all angry. I got little baby catfish I caught earlier to use for bait. And then I got 2 bluegill. And I just got them sitting in the net, dipped in the water. That way they can live if I don't use them. Oh my god. They about took my net. Come on, dude. Oh my god. He just got himself all tangled up. See? Cutest little catfish. Tiny little thing. Oh man. Old age has got me. No, so I'm on the top side of the spillway. Right before I came over here, I caught about 5 or 6 to use for bait. So the only one I've caught up here is the big one you saw. Everything else has been bait. And then there's the one that snapped me off earlier, which I'm still sad about. But it's fine. I'll get over it. But yes, I got a line right here that I'm touching. You can kind of see it on camera. I recasted it. It's got a bluegill on it. It's a pretty good sized bluegill. And then this one sitting underneath me has cut up bluegill. There's a plane spotlighting. It gets beautiful, like so beautiful out here. Seeing this line above me starting to move, but can't tell if it's wind or the bait that's on it. Um, I don't know. I don't think so. So I've caught a fish that my buddy was releasing before. My friend went to throw the fish back into the water as I was reeling in, and when he threw it in, like it landed on my hook, and then I hooked it in the mouth as I was reeling in. I've caught fishing poles, but I've never caught a fishing pole with a fish on it. Caught clams. Caught a belt one time. I was jigging in some rocks, and my line went down, and I guess what happened is the fish took me down, and came back up with a belt hook to it. Clam. Yeah, so like when they're alive, they'll like breathe, and I guess I've done it multiple times. I guess like they were feeding and chose my hook. Yeah, super interesting. See. Well, if I ever find myself out that away, we can hit a skate session, but we got to do some fishing. You got a bunch of skate parks out that way? Well, if I ever end up out that way, hopefully I'll have something. Isn't that how it works? Oh, I understand that. There's some parks around here that are decent. There's one that's pretty solid, and then there's a couple that are eh. There's one that's just it's literally a half pipe, and it's got a quarter pipe connected to it for like hip transfers, but you can't do a hip transfer because the quarter has like 6 foot run up max. And then there's a spine, but you really can't skate the spine because it's got like 10 foot run up. So it's literally a spine next to a half pipe. It's got a quarter coming off of it, and it's just kind of pointless. And they don't maintain it, so the middle is all busted out. Says we got 2 people up in here. Let's see. Trying to do a thumbs up. This lighting situation's horrible. Like, what lighting situation? Some of these parks, they like the setup just isn't right. There's nowhere to go and get speed. There's one park where like some of these parks are literally like 20 foot by 40 foot concrete pads. Like one's got a little 3 or 4 stair, and then it's a ledge on both sides, and then it's got a bunch of like random objects you can move around. Little like homemade ramps. So, like I said, I did skate like 2 days ago, which was weird because I ain't really skated in a minute. But I ended up just skating a curb, just into the grass. Used it like a micro quarter. Growing up, we used to make a lot of ramps. We'd take old piece of wood, stack a bunch of logs together, and then just lay the wood on top of it for kickers. I remember we used to go back in the woods. We'd find big hills that were just straight dirt. Skate down those. One of my buddies, he had a ditch in his front yard, and we used to skate down his walkway and jump the ditch on the skateboard so much that like it wore all the grass out and packed it in. Skated that like a little mini almost. Set up some stop signs on some logs. That's a ramp at that point. Let's see. Come on, bro. I'm trying to let you go. All right. Wouldn't move. It's good talking to you, brother. Appreciate you stopping in. For sure. Like I said, I'll send you a friend request on my personal page on Facebook. Because Messenger is about the best way to actually get a hold of me. even though I'm not always the best on there either. All right, later.